I love you, but be for real. We're all susceptible to being in a cult. You're not special just because you think you're woke or liberal, this or that. You might have been in a cult and didn't even know you was in a cult. All of us are susceptible, so don't think you're special. Before I get into our guest, cult survivor, gotta tell y'all, like, subscribe, follow to the podcast. This season 2 is all about cults, community, and how people may prey on the human natural need for community and belongingness and control your mind. I Love You But podcast on Instagram and TikTok. I Love You But Be For Real on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, wherever you get your podcasts. Period. Okay, so today's guest is a Jehovah's Witness cult survivor.
Yes.
Survivor.
Yes.
Yes. I just got acclimated to the term cult survivor, but I guess to give more background on you, now that you're across the other side, you do fitness, life coaching, a bunch of different creative stuff.
Yes.
Podcast guesting.
Yes.
Speaking. You have a nonprofit.
Have a nonprofit as well?
For cult survivors.
Yes.
I'm like, I'm gonna miss something because there's so much.
I miss a book, a writer, a book. Yeah,
Yes.
got books too. Yeah.
Fellow ADHD are here.
Yes, of course.
Yes, because we're the ones who like to yap
and do it all. Okay?
Yeah, like, because some people like that I interview that don't have ADHD, they are like, oh, I have to make sure I do my research and I have to like do this and I have to do that, and I'm like, no, girl, you just get on here and yap.
You just do, right.
But because that's like my natural state, I forget that like yapping is not always natural for people. True. But like for us, it's like we'll go down a rabbit hole, or even if we didn't do the research for the interview, we already probably went down the rabbit hole and be like, I was researching this one time. And I actually have information on this, even though I wasn't preparing it for this.
Exactly.
Specifically. So that's our guest, AngieBe.
Hello. How are y'all?
Okay, so where do I want to start?
Way back when in the 1900s.
We started off strong. We're going to do a history lesson.
In the late 1900s.
You were born into... Okay, wait. What would be your definition of a cult?
So I call this one a high control organization more than a cult.
Mm-hmm.
But my definition of a cult is basically, the short answer is, how do you leave?
Mm-hmm.
If I want to leave, how can I leave? If I leave and my parents or my friends or my community is no longer able to talk to me, then that's a high control organization or a cult. That's a cult.
Mm-hmm.
Because even if you left Christianity or you left Buddhism or you left any other religion, formal religion, let me say it that way, they might not, you're Baptist, okay, and now you want to be Catholic or Mormon or what, not Mormon, but Catholic or Buddhist. Your parents or whatever might be like, we really wish you serve Jesus, but we're okay with you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're still going to invite you over for Christmas. Make sure you come for Thanksgiving, okay, whatever. Not no contact at all. So that's my definition.
There's not repercussions
to
deciding to go another path.
Exactly. That fits you. So that's my definition.
Okay.
That's my main definition. That's the first definition.
I like that definition. I would agree. I've been mulling it over because a lot of people think that it just has to be like Mormon, Latter-day Christian, or like something like that. And I'm like, no, it's kind of wide-reaching.
It's very wide-reaching.
In my opinion, it's wide-reaching. It could be really anything, but if you don't it has to meet a couple elements probably, but like one of the main ones is, can you leave? What are the consequences of leaving?
Right.
Even if it's not written in the bylaws, some of them, like I know with Jehovah's Witness, it's like, this is set in stone. But some of them, it's like, it's not set in stone, or you might not know that there's going to be repercussions when you join. But then there's certain like mind control things that happen that make you feel like you cannot leave.
And it's the culture too of the organization. So in the culture of Jehovah's Witnesses, like even right now, when I got married 5 years ago, my mother didn't come to my wedding.
Yeah.
So why is it that what did I say? Why is it that I'm a God's blessing, but now this organization says you can't talk to your own child or attend your child's wedding? Like, wait, what? But I'm a blessing from God. Like, that does not compute to me. So that's another thing. Like, they're controlling the things that you do with your family as well. So that's my two things. And also looking at Stephen Hassan's, or I forget his name, but the bite model, and going through the bite model, I literally looked at the bite model and checked off things. And especially in the information control part, Jehovah's Witnesses met like most of those. And I'm sitting there like, oh, okay. Information was controlled. Our emotions are controlled. Our energy is controlled in this organization. Yeah, it's behavior control by BITE. So by behavior control, information control, it's not technology, but something, and emotional control. Forget the T. But we'll put it right here where the T goes. There it goes.
Thank you to my editor.
Thank you, editor. Okay.
Yuresh is his name.
Thank you.
Shout him out.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
I do Cameron the same way. Cameron, put it right here. Thanks. And so with that, when you see that your behavior is being controlled, your information is being controlled, because all we had was Watchtower. I was a witness before the internet, so therefore all we had was Watchtower and Awake magazines, and I would use all the information but the Watchtower and Awake gave us.
Wait, okay, so for people who don't understand what this is, because I always say, like, I'll reference like JW and stuff because I've had family members that are either part of it or used to be part of it, and people are like, what is that? And I'm like, oh, the people who knock on your doors, and that's all they really know is that people knock on your doors
on Saturday morning when I'm trying to sleep. Yeah.
So what is the Watchtower for those who don't know? What's that? It's called Watchtower. I want to like also point that out. I didn't think about that.
Exactly.
Watchtower.
Exactly.
It's a tower watching over you.
Yes.
And it's not God. It's a tower. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not saying like heaven. It's saying Watchtower. So, okay, explain what it is.
So, honestly, the Jehovah's Witnesses are basically a publication company. That's just it. They're a company, just like Amazon started as a book company. The Jehovah's Witnesses are a publication company. They publicize their own books, their own material, their own magazines. And from these magazines, they come up with this religion, and the information is being controlled they say it's through God, but the information they give you is from God, from the governing body, more from the governing body to you. And you're supposed to live your life from these magazines, books, and what have you. Okay. So these are the things, this is the blueprint and model of what you're supposed to follow. And so the Watchtower magazine, for those who don't know, was the more, I don't want to say Christian based, but it's more Bible based, quote unquote Bible based version of what we're supposed to do as Christians. Jehovah's Witnesses don't believe that any other religions are Christians. They believe that they are the only Christian religion. Okay. So that's the first thing. Like, if you think, yes, we all know that Christianity is a big wide and includes a lot of other religions. Jehovah's Witnesses, when they say that should a Christian do that, they mean Jehovah's Witnesses, not Catholics, not Protestants, not Baptists. They mean Jehovah's Witnesses. So should a Christian do this? And those are the terms that they use. And that's one of the things the BITE model says, is that, do you have your own language? Do you have your own terms that you can only use? So and they have the Awake magazine, which is more social. It's more like a regular magazine, like the People magazine. They'll have more different, hey, turtles are fun, and this is the reason why God created turtles, or why does the sun rise at 7:00 and not, just more.
They're trying to make it relatable.
A more relatable magazine. So for me personally, when I was in, I would use them. Awake magazines seemed more fun and more exciting than the Watchtower magazines. So, because Watchtower is very much, these are what we should do as Christians. Awake was more, hey, these are fun topics, or they would have more relatable stories than, or more life stories that was going on today than what have you. So,
okay, so they send these out to like your house, or you get them every time you go. So what's explain the Kingdom Hall. That's like your church, right?
Right.
And how often do you have to go to be in good standing?
So back in my day, in the early aughts, because I don't think they do this anymore. I think they only have 2 meetings now a week. But back when I was a kid, and remember, I was born in, my mother got in when I was 3 months old. So basically,
Okay.
I was born in. You had 3 meetings a week. Okay, so you had Sunday meeting. Our meetings were on Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday. All right. So Sunday we had church, usual regular church. Monday night we had a Bible study, which we had it at our hall, but sometimes you'll go to somebody's house and have this Bible study, sort of like small group for most Christians. And then Wednesday night you had another study, and then you also had family study as well. Okay, so our family study was on Friday night, so that's 4 nights a week, and most times on Monday and Wednesday night, even at school, like kids got to go to school, right? We're not getting home till 10 o'clock at night. I still got homework. I still got to make all A's. And so these meetings were to indoctrinate and keep you on the level of what the organization wants you to do. And that's another thing with the bite model. It says, are you constantly are they controlling how you maneuver? And that's how they kept the control over you. Unlike in most cults, like at Waco, they move you out and you can only stay on this farm or what have you. That's why I say high control, because with high control, similar is that they don't control most of your life, but at the same time, you are required to be at these meetings. Now, this is all before COVID, y'all. Okay, so this is way, way before COVID. So to be in a good standing, yes, you had to attend most of your meetings, and you had to, like for me and my family, I had to be like temperature, throwing up, sick to not go, like legit, like almost on death's door. Okay, not to go. And that was very, very interesting, because even if I had homework, we still got to get ready, go to the hall. 2 hours there. I can't do homework while I'm at the hall.
Do you think education outside of what they were teaching you is even a priority for Jehovah's Witnesses?
No, because the world was coming to an
end. Okay.
So that, I remember growing up, you're never going to grow up. You're not going to graduate high school. You're not going to get married. You're not going to hit your 20s. The world's going to come to it. Armageddon's going to happen before then. I remember, like, literally when I got married, like, because it still affects you, even when you're born in.
Yeah.
I remember literally crying one day, like, when I was getting married, like, the day before my wedding, like, I was supposed to get married.
So, like, okay.
I was never supposed, like, I'm happy that I'm married. You get what I'm saying? But I was never.
But you thought you just weren't going to make it that long.
I wasn't going to make it that long.
So then what are the excuses that they say when the Armageddon doesn't happen? Like, okay, now say you stayed in the religion the whole time, even you were getting married into to another Jehovah's Witness. What would they say?
Oh, that's fine. As long as I get,
but yeah, but like, would they, like, you weren't even supposed to make it this long, so what's their excuse for why, like, the world's still here?
I will use it for children, because that's one thing. Don't have children. A lot of women don't have children because we're supposed to wait until the world is to paradise to have children. You want to be, have a better earth for your children. So I will answer that question saying this. There's no really, go ahead and get married. That's fine, because you don't want to make sure you don't sin, because, sex before marriage is a sin, right? But especially with children, it's like you should wait. And if you have those children, are you sure you want to have children? Are you sure that this is something that you want to have children on this world, in this place? Now, they don't believe in abortion or nothing like that, so okay, it's still a blessing. But they won't. They're just kind of explaining it away. It's never. It's not coming. It's just. It's going to be coming soon. Everything is
soon. So that, and they can just keep saying it because they're not giving you. So they don't give you an exact date, basically.
No, they did a date, and you do your research. Look up the 75 Stay Alive. That was the last time they actually gave a date,
because they knew. Yeah, it's not going to keep working if you keep giving new dates.
Now the 2000s, because I was a witness in 2000. Yeah, we thought the 2000s were going to be it, and especially after 9/11. And we can get into that because I got this fellowship 2 weeks before 9/11. So in my head, I thought 9/11 had happened. Rest in peace. But I thought that was God, because I left the organization by this point, or forced out by this point. I thought Jehovah was mad at me. I took it as a personal attack.
Okay, walk me through that, because people, I want to understand, because people would be like, there's no way you thought that 9/11 was a personal attack on you. What would you say? How did they get you to a point where you could believe that?
So, again, I'm an elder's daughter, so I'm a pastor's kid, basically. Okay, I'm doing everything right. By the time I left, I was a pioneer, which is a missionary. For those who get equivalent to a missionary, I'm doing 90 hours. This is back when pioneers had to do 90 hours a week, 90 hours a month, excuse me, and knocking on doors. So we had to count our time on knocking on doors. So I believed
Like
everything.
you had like a timesheet?
Yes.
And did they have to get like certified? Like
not really certified. I never lied on mine. When I came out, I realized people were lying on theirs. I wish I did.
But like you had to write, like, on Monday I did 10 hours.
And I had to calculate how many days and how many, between school, life, and everything else to get these 90 hours.
Wait, so no matter what age you were, if you were a pioneer, how did you get chosen to be a pioneer?
I wanted to. There's always more. You can always do more. You can always do more. And I remember this talk very vividly. If you can do 10 hours, you can do 20. If you can do 20 hours, you can do 30. If you can do 30 hours, you need to be doing 40, because this is what Jehovah needs us to do to save lives. And so that's another part of the BITE model that they control, meaning that they literally tell you you should be doing nothing but knocking on doors and saving lives. So when I was in school as a high schooler, I would do as our auxiliary pioneer, which means I had to do 50 hours or 40 hours a month extra. Okay. When I got out of school, I wanted to be my dream job was be a coroner. I wanted to go into medical profession. I'm going to get back to your question in a second. I remember. But at that time, you had to go to medical school. The elders looked at me, and I graduated with a 3.8. I had colleges on mine that I wanted to go to.
Yeah, but they didn't care about that.
No, the elders literally said, I need you to be a good example and be a regular pioneer, which means being a missionary. Go serve where the need is greater, which I did, and not go to school, because we're not going to need coroners and doctors in paradise. So I didn't go. I went to a little small town in Georgia and served there, doing 90 hours and working a part-time job. That's what I did.
Because you don't get paid.
You don't get paid.
As a pioneer, as a missionary.
No.
The only people who financially benefit are like the owners of the religion, right?
Right, but there's no payment here. This is all volunteer. So this is free. This is free 99. So I still had to supplement my own income. And how do I pay for the gas? How do I pay for the car? How do I pay for? Yeah, there's nothing like that.
And there's thousands of people who are putting in 90 hours a month. I just want to put this in perspective, that are not getting paid. And a lot of the people who are doing this are low income. Right? Very
much. Because I'm not able to go to school. So therefore, what am I doing? I'm working at McDonald's. I worked at a gym. So therefore, there's nothing to, I don't have a college education. I can probably go to trade school, but even that's frowned upon, because, the world's coming to an end. At this point, the 2000s, it's time to make sure we save lives. I forgot the question.
I love ADHD. So I actually remember it shockingly. I didn't even take my medicine today.
I never take my medicine. Okay, go.
No, that's a whole rabbit hole we could go down, because I have opinions on it. Like, I agree with both ways. But now I'm forgetting, but I'm gonna remember.
You got it.
Okay,
you got it.
Right, I'm like,
raise your hand. That does work. That does work.
It does. I've never tried that.
Raise your hand.
Okay, wait. Okay, so if I raise my hand, so 9/11, how did you feel like that was about?
Thank you. There we go. It works.
ADHD people, raise that hand. That just works.
It works.
Okay.
I do that with my friends when I'm having a whole story. I'm gonna hold it right now.
Right.
I do that when I'm holding a story. I'm raising my hand, so I remember to tell you this. Okay. All right. So how did 9/11? So therefore, that was because I was an example for the organization in my hall and in my city at the time. I was the one that they looked up to. I was Angela. I am the pioneer. I just got out of pioneer school. Everybody's supposed to follow my example. I had people like, not worshiping me, but fangirling, because I'm the eldest daughter. I'm trying to go to Bethel, which is our Vatican. That was my goal. I am all this stuff. And then I had the sex, and I discovered. Can I cuss?
Yes.
Thank you. I discovered the power of dick. Amen.
Ooh.
Amen.
That's actually hilarious. I was like trying to keep a straight face. I could not keep a straight face.
I discovered the power of the penis. Amen. And I didn't care about them 90 hours no more. Okay.
And you were a teenager, like late
I was
teens?
late teens, early 20s.
Okay.
So,
cool.
Yeah, no, early 20s. I was not teenager anymore when I lost my virginity. And so that in my Jehovah's Witness mind, let me go back to that saying that, okay? In my Jehovah's Witness mind, I had sinned. And I wasn't going to stop. So when I got found out and the elders had this judicial committee, I didn't repent. I didn't go back to what they called the congregation. I didn't go back to Jehovah. I went ahead and got this, because literally I did have a choice, because I grew up with these elders. I knew these men from childhood up. And we can talk about the judicial committee if you want. But they literally asked me, because I had the day before I got my last day of my judicial committee, I had to start a new job up in Atlanta, where I live at now. And they said, well, if you move to Atlanta, you're getting disfellowshipped. But if you stay here, we'll just privately reprove you. And I said, well, I'm not about to drive 2 hours back and forth to work every day.
So basically, they wanted to separate you from the area that you were able to have sex in, basically.
Kind of, sort of. I started having sex in that city. So it wasn't, okay. Yeah, I had a boyfriend there, but then I moved up here.
And they wanted you to...
They wanted me to stay home.
Okay.
They wanted me to stay home in the congregation, not move to the big city. But I started this new job the next day, and I'm like, that's my dream job. I'm not about to cancel my dream job for this organization. I never doubted the religion. Because I was raised in it. I say that to people all the time, is that your parents are your first people that you trust. So if your parents tell you that rain is poison,
you're going to believe that.
You're going to believe
until
that.
you get enough education to disprove it. And it takes a lot to disprove what your parents say.
What your parents say. What your parents says is law for the most part. This is for Google. Now, there's people out there that believe the earth is flat. We can go online and find articles that believe the earth is flat. We can find articles that believe the earth is round. But if your parents are flat earthers, you're going to believe the earth is flat. You get what I'm saying? Until you look into the research and go, oh, well, maybe it is round. The rest of the planets out there are round. Why wouldn't the earth be round? For me personally, you get what I'm saying? So I believed everything that they told me. I believed everything. I booked hook, line, sinker. Like, let's go. But now you want me to cancel my dream job, not have my dream job, to stay in this small town? Now I'm in my early, very much 2021 by this point. At big cities at that age are like, let's go. Like there's parties, there's things, let's do.
Yeah.
I'm a small town girl. There's stuff to do. There's a public transportation that runs. Why wouldn't I go do this? And so I chose the job. And I remember and the boyfriend I had at the time was a Muslim.
Okay.
So literally 2 weeks later, in my head, I failed the test. God started 9/11. God started Armageddon with 9/11 because I left the organization. Jehovah was waiting on me to pass that test to stay in the organization. That's what my head told me at the time. That's how I got there.
So, okay. You thought you were the cause of it. That's such a lot of heavy responsibility to carry.
Yeah, and I'm nowhere near New York, and no, I don't know anybody in New York. Yeah, it's a very bad. And then I'm dating a Muslim at the time too, so that's a whole nother thing too. Like the day it happened,
politically, with all that, you're like, oh. So then, what did you? Once you were like, oh my gosh, I caused this. What did you try to go back to the religion to like fix the world, kind of thing?
And not really fix the world, but say, I'm sorry, Jehovah, I'm here. You get what I'm saying? I know you're starting Armageddon, and I'm here. Like, I'm still here. Like, I still want to be saved.
Because you want to delay. Your perspective is you want to delay Armageddon so you could save as many people as possible.
Not even delay Armageddon. I didn't want Armageddon to start, and I was outside Jehovah's walls.
Okay. I'm good. Okay, I get it now.
You get what I'm saying? Because now I don't have Jehovah's protection.
like stuff is happening. I see the 9/11. Oh no, I need.
So
Yep.
now
Okay.
it's not really Jehovah delaying 9/11. No, delaying.
You just need to make sure you're protected because
exactly.
It's
okay.
It's connecting.
Right. So now 9/11's starting. Armageddon. Let me say it that way. Armageddon's starting in my head.
In your head.
And I'm outside these walls. What do I do? And I'm dating a Muslim. What do I do? Like,
yeah. So, did you stop dating the Muslim?
No, I dated him for 7 more years.
Good. No, that's great.
And
Love
he kept me home that day. He's not radicalized. He knew whatever, blah, say, blah. And he says, no, this has nothing. He was able to say, no, you don't need to go to a hall. You're going to stay here. He took me out to eat that day. We stayed at home. We sheltered in place or whatever. I can't remember the lingo for that time. But yeah, and then, of course, life continues on. Sort of similar to, I'm on Reddit right now, and after Mr. Kirk got killed, a lot of people are scared about that, and I see it in the Reddit threads, and I'm like, this happens.
The Jehovah's Witness people are scared about it?
Yeah.
So what is their fear around that? Like, because he didn't have nothing to do with...
He didn't have nothing to do with nothing. But I think because, again, it's an act of violence.
Okay.
That we're not used to. You get what I'm saying? Because, Armageddon will start with violence and be a very violent time. But again, if we're outside this organization, we don't have Jehovah's protection, and that's the one thing that we get scared of.
So basically, they kind of use these types of violent things that happen to be like, you better make sure you're doing right by the Lord.
Right. Exactly.
You ain't going to a good place when this all ends, right. Kind of thing.
You're not going to be able to go to paradise.
Okay, so they kind of like this stuff happening. They love it. That 9/11 was great.
Even COVID was great.
Yeah, I know, because some of my family members that are still in Jehovah's Witness when COVID was happening, they're like, the Bible says that this is going to happen.
There we go.
It says it's going to happen. I'm like, okay. Cool. Like,
but this issue's been happening for decades, years, and centuries, okay? JFK getting shot. We have other political people that got shot, so therefore...
Any major thing.
Exactly. If we look back at history, and that's why I kind of like studying history, because all of this is still a repetitive thing. So, it's not God starting something wrong. It's just, this is what happens on planet Earth. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's how I got there at that time.
Yeah. Okay. So I had another question. I'm trying to think of like what it was. So you have the aspect of the watchtower, like controlling what you read. And then they make you do so many of those hours to knock on doors that you don't have time to really truly focus on your education.
Right.
And they don't when you do still do good in school, despite the fact they're trying to kind of make you not do good in school. They're like, well, you don't have to go to college. It's not important because we just need to save more people.
Exactly.
So there's all these forms of making sure that you don't get educated and you don't have the tools to make your own decisions.
Right.
So a lot of people, you spoke about the Waco thing, and a lot of people think like, oh, you have to be secluded in some secluded area, like it's all physical, like they have like I know people say like, oh, the Mormons lock women in these rooms downstairs, and that could have happened. I'm not saying those things haven't happened, but that's not the only qualifications, because control is not just location based.
And nowadays we have the algorithm.
Yeah.
So now if you believe, like, again, let's use flat earth for example.
Yeah.
If your algorithm believes there's a flat earth, you're going to find more articles and more things that make you believe that there's flat earth. You believe there's earth is round, you're going to believe that you're going to find the articles to do that. And it's the same thing. Wherever you put your algorithm at.
Yeah. You don't have to be physically sheltered away in Waco, Texas.
No.
To whatever, you know what I mean? Like to be susceptible to it. And I think a lot of people think that, but it's like, no, there's other ways that they can control the information that you have access to, because information is power.
Exactly.
That's what I think people they underestimate what even opening a book has done for you. Like ever opening a book helps you to be able to have more and more information.
Right.
And not just books that someone told you had to open, or not just a website a school told you had to go to. That helps, but being curious on your own and having the time and resources, because if you're not educated or coming from a poor town and then you have to spend all these hours doing your work, where would you have the time to be curious to open up a book that doesn't have to do with that? You wouldn't even have the time if you wanted to. Like, even if it was a fiction book, right? Like, where would you have the time to read?
And then when back in my day, that was the thing. Why are you reading fiction? I remember this is way before the internet, y'all. Okay, this Google's just didn't start it. When internet started, there was talk saying don't get on the internet. Don't get on the internet. There was talk saying, hey, the Awake magazine gives us 4 years of college. I remember saying that I didn't have to go to college.
They were saying the Awake magazines that was telling you about turtles and shit was giving you. No, I'm not supposed to laugh at that because, like, that's being rude. I know I'm being rude, but I'm like, I know they fucking lying. That's basically what I think. I'm like, I know y'all lying.
But at the time, I didn't.
They're
line and sinker.
Right. That's the thing. But it's like, but I'm like, I can't believe they even had the nerve.
They had the nerve.
That's what's blowing me.
They had the audacity.
That's what's blowing me.
Right.
And the thing is, I'm not one of those people who thinks college education is the only way to be educated.
Very true.
However, you still have to have the time to educate yourself in whatever it is.
And like you said, to question.
Yeah.
So even right now, when you're what they call physically out, mentally questioning, those people, when they start questioning and you start realizing, wait, so 1914, yada, 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 or this, that, and you start questioning the beliefs of the Jehovah's Witnesses, they're literally told, there's a video from this past convention. It sounds like you're questioning brother so-and-so. You should read the Bible and talk to Jehovah.
Like, they don't even answer the question.
Don't answer the question. No, you should not be questioning us. You shouldn't. Because if you're questioning the organization, you're actually questioning God. You're not questioning the organization. In their mind, you're questioning God. So these magazines, these books are from when you're in, and you're physically in, mentally in, they call it PIMI, physically in, mentally in. You're not questioning the organization. You're questioning God himself. And who wants to question God?
So they've deemed themselves as God.
Yes, they have.
Okay. Got it. So then it reminds me, this is kind of a tangent, but like just parenting styles in general. Because there's the parenting style of do as you're told.
Right.
You don't need to understand why.
Right.
But studies have shown that is not effective parenting to raising a independent, self-sufficient adult.
Right.
It's not sufficient. You need to say, I don't think this is a good idea because, and if I, as that 4-year-old, am like, I don't understand why that's not a good idea, you have to explain it to me.
So, and I'll tell you this, and coming from the middle Georgia, South Georgia, okay, from a black household, a lot of time, and not being a parent, because I'm not a parent, okay, but I do have a bunch of nieces and nephews that do ask me questions, okay, and I answer those questions. But as an adult, what happened is that when those children question you, they're not questioning you. They really just want to know, okay? They're really just curiosity, and curiosity is needed as an adult. However, when they question and you have to explain it, it
makes you question, why do I think this?
Exactly. It brings it into your brain to go, should I do this or not? Lying, for example. We all tell the children not to lie, okay? But if I don't feel like going to work today because I want to sit here and do the podcast, I'm going to tell a little fib at work, I got a flat tire. But now the child's going to say, Mommy, we don't have a flat tire. Why are we lying? You told me not to lie. Now I've got a question and say, okay, why am I doing this? And make it right with the kid. You know, that brings into our own questions ourselves.
And it helps them develop their own judgment.
Exactly.
Because my reason is, say I'm like, you know what? You're right. I don't really got a good reason that I told that. Then they could be like, okay, I don't like that behavior. Whereas if I say, you know what? I had something that was more important, or it could be like, my job is not friendly to life happening and I have to take a family member to the hospital. Like there could ever be many reasons that you lied to your job. Mm-hmm. And then the kid could be like, okay, I understood that you had to prioritize. They can understand priorities.
Right. But then when they do it again, because when you become a teenager, they're going to do it to you. Okay? Mm-hmm. And so now they have priorities too. And now you're catching them in a lie. Wait, hold up. But that child now has priorities too. Mm-hmm. And now you're just going to come back to you. Yeah. And parents don't like that. Especially Black parents and from Georgia. From the South. Okay? Like, hey. And that makes you question yourself. And that's why I think that rule comes from, is do what you to say.
And it stems from, I understand where it comes from, and even thinking about how so many people get shifted into either Jehovah's Witness or other religions is the need to feel protected and safe. Mm-hmm. So at some point you did not feel safe, you did not feel protected. And that mentality is like, well, if you just do what is said, you're going to be safe and protected. That's all you got to do is do what is said. Exactly. It's a way that even though in a cult your mind is being controlled, you feel like you have a sense of control because you're like, if I just do these things, everything's going to be okay. Like you feel a sense of control over the world. Whereas like when you're not in an organization like that, you kind of know anything can happen to me, or my kid could disobey and I'm not going to know about it. Exactly. It's going to happen. Whenever I have a kid, my kid is going to disobey and I'm not going to know about it sometimes.
They are.
And I never will. Mm-hmm. Unless when they're adult, they want to tell me because they think it's funny. Right?
Like, time I told you I was doing this, I was actually doing this, Mom. Okay? Like, real.
Right. Like, it's going to happen. And I think, like, I understand, like, I cannot control everything in life to just be like, oh, if I follow these steps, these things are going to happen. It's just not.
Honestly, that's, to your point, that's the beauty of life. Mm-hmm. But we were raised to do this, and that's the first thing that when people come out, that freedom is scary to a lot of people, and that's why a lot of people stay in. Mm-hmm. I have someone right now I'm assisting with the Exodus group, our nonprofit, and mentally they're not able to deal with it.
Okay, so she's like leaving, but
she can't deal with that freedom. And I told her, because self-harm has come up a lot of times, and I just said, do you need to go back? Do you need to go back? Because her family's still in. She's having trouble with all that. She has, children. I said, it's okay. If you need to go back because that's where your brain is just stuck at and you need that 1, 2, 3, 4, I get it. Mm-hmm. It's not for me, okay, personally. But if that freedom is that scary to you, that you're scared you're going to make the wrong decision, that you're not looking at life as a question, you're looking at it as a fear, please, I'm not sure you stay alive.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And not self-harm.
Self-harm coming up is like, wow. Because I talked about this with a friend. She has a certification in pastoral counseling. Mm-hmm. I don't know if she has like a specific denomination that she practices herself, but she, with everyone, is just like in general spiritual pastoral counseling. Mm-hmm. And she said a lot of times in these organizations, we're taught to have like the faith and we just like do 1, 2, and 3 and it's fine. But faith without works is dead.
Exactly.
Literally in the Bible, it says that. Mm-hmm. Faith without works is dead. So if you're not able to actually get in touch with your own intuition and understand this is a good decision, this is a bad decision, or how much danger am I putting myself in, you're really not, that's not following God because your intuition has come from the higher power.
But they trained you out of your intuition.
They train you out. They have trained you out of it.
Intuition.
So then you get to someone like her who's like, oh, I think I want to leave. But when they now feel like they have freedom because she's been trained out of her own critical thinking skills, she does not know how to operate in the real world.
Exactly.
To the point where she thinks everything is going to make some big fear happen.
And that's the reason. And go back to 9/11. That's the reason. Yeah, there we go.
That's insane. It's like very deep.
It's very deep. They literally train you out of your own gut, your own intuition. And now at whatever age, over 20, 30, 40, you're trying to get back in tune with that. That's scary. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of of exploration,
unlearning.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of learning how to love yourself. It's a lot, and I don't wish this journey on anybody. But if you choose it, let's go. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's one of the things the reason why I created the nonprofit, because it was just such my story, and being able to do that for myself. Granted, I did it when I was 20, and I just got, okay, I had that curiosity to like, let's try things, okay? And okay, we don't like that door. Okay, cool. Close it back. Deal with repercussions. Okay, let's open this door. Okay, all right, I don't like that. Or, you know what? Hey, friend, have you gone through that door yet? What's on the other side of that? Then I can talk to it. Okay, so can you hold my hand while I go through this door? Okay, and I can talk to you about that. And that's a safer thing. But because they've already told you that when you come out of the organization, 1, you don't have God's love anymore. 2, you're not protected from God. And 3, they already say, you're going to be, my biggest fear was I was going to get pregnant 15 times, have AIDS, and be homeless. Like, nothing wrong for people that have had that experience.
Yeah.
But
you thought that was automatically going to happen.
Automatically going to happen. And to be able to be, oh, wait, there's ways to protect myself from STDs. There's ways to protect myself from children. If I don't want to have children, that have them. But
they don't teach you that. They just teach you just don't do it. Right?
So, yeah, it's just one of those things where once you finally figure out your own power in this, and that's the one thing they don't teach you, like you said, your own intuition. Once you figure out your own power, now you're like, oh, this is just part of life. This is breathing. This is not something that I need to be scared about. But again, that 1, 2, 3, they keep you here, you're going to stay there.
And, okay, so I want to talk about the disfellowship, which is, that means you've sinned, right? And now, like, if you don't do whatever repenting that you're supposed to do, you're out of the religion. What happens when you're disfellowship? Like, what's the process, and then what does that mean for you in your life? So if that happens to you,
it's excommunication on a bigger scale. Okay, they call it disfellowshipping. Most churches call it excommunication, where they force you out the organization. Okay. They've laxed the rules here in 2025, 2024, but beforehand, if you did not follow the rules, for me, I had the sex before the marriage. Okay, well, it was me at 20. There's other rules, and there's a whole elder's manual that I didn't know about, but there's other rules that you can get this fellowship for as well. But once the elders find out, they pull you to a back room and they talk to you. Back in my day, there were 3 elders and I had a judicial committee. All right, so witnesses believe that they had their own judicial system. All right, we don't follow the world's judicial system; we follow our own. Okay. So you're in the back room, and they talk to you. They ask you very in-depth questions on what happened, why you did it, how many times. For me personally, because I had sex, it was how many times did I have sex? Did I enjoy it? Who came? Who touched? Who?
And these are like older, middle-aged men asking you these questions.
I'm 20 years old by myself in a room with 3 men, over 40. And they're asking me how many times I've had sex.
Are they like writing notes down?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
And at this point, again, I'm believing all the stuff. So I didn't want my whole family members to be. I didn't want to be cut off from my family. Okay. So I'm asking it, and at this time I'm very truthful, because I understand that God sees everything. And so at this time, because I'm a truthful person, I thought God had already told the elders everything. So therefore, I needed to back up. So therefore, they would see that I was being truthful and therefore be forgiven.
So you thought these 40-year-old men already had the information from God.
Yes.
And they acted as if they probably already knew.
Yes.
And they're like, in them writing it down, you think they're writing it down to confirm, like, oh, she's saying the same stuff that they told us.
That God told me. Yes. Okay. Because they were, we're taught as witnesses that God lays through the elders. So therefore, in my head at that time, again, I'm born in. All right. So I never questioned this organization. I didn't question until years after I got out. So I'm thinking that Jehovah had already told them everything. that how many times I had sex. So they asked me how many times I had sex. Did I do oral? Who initiated oral? Yeah.
So they asked, did you? Okay, tell me the questions they asked.
Girl.
Okay,
girl. They didn't ask me what color my pussy lips were. Okay.
I'm screaming. Because I'm like, wait, did you do oral how many times? I'm like, I don't know. Like,
now, I started having sex in August. Okay, and this is I started having sex in May, right for my 21st birthday. So this is September. No, this is August because I got social tweets for September 11th. Yeah, okay. So in that 3 months, they literally asked me how many times have I had sex, and I told them, well, I'm like, they like, and I meant, do you mean this month, this week, or this year? Like, and they go, well, overall. And I said, I don't know. The elder, I remember this is the day I die. He goes, over 10? Yes. Over 20? Yeah. Over 30? Yeah. Over 50 times? Yeah. Sorry. Girl, sex is fun. You hadn't tried it yet. Do it safely. Anyway, it's a condom. Okay, that's all I say. PSA. And so I remember the elders like literally asking me how many times I had sex in this 3-month period. And one of the elders finally said, over 50 times. I'm like, yeah, probably. And they choking. Like, I'm looking at them going, y'all are married. Are y'all not having sex over 50 times in a month? Like, I don't, okay. In my head at that time, I wanted to be honest because I was repentant. I was showing my repentance. But they're asking, okay, how many times you had oral? Who initiated oral? How many times did you initiate oral? How many times did the other person initiate oral? How many men have you been with? By this time, it was just 2. The guy lost my virginity to, and my boyfriend at the time. Where have you having? Like, they were very detailed. Where? Yeah.
Did they ask you what position?
Basically, yeah. Yeah. And I'm sitting there answering missionary and doggy. I didn't know reverse cowgirl then, but still, it's like, yeah. Now I'm like, y'all some nasty motherfuckers. I'm sorry. Disgusting.
And that would have been the same group of people had you been 16 and this happened.
Exactly.
So it would have been you as a 16-year-old with 3, 40, whatever
older men,
year-old men.
Yeah.
Answering these questions and they're
without
writing
my parents
them
in the
down.
room. Yeah, no parents in the room because I'm a baptized witness now. So my parents were not allowed in the room, and my dad's an elder.
And okay, so they write this stuff down, and they're like, okay, her pussy lips is this. She creams and doesn't squirt.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah. Like,
basically,
all this stuff.
Did you come? How many times did you orgasm? Like,
they asked how many times you orgasm? Oh, gosh. This is way worse than I could have even made up. Wait, I thought I knew stuff. I'm like, what? Oh, they are like some freaky deep. They're probably like writing these scripts and sending it to like porn sites and getting paid for it.
Yeah, that's the running joke now that y'all are really like if you're going to Reddit files, like when I'm reading the questions that other people had, I'm like, oh my God, y'all are definitely like looking at notes and
doing stuff. Right.
Y'all gotta be.
They got some lotion in their office. They definitely have to. That is insane. Okay, so then after they finish their interrogation assessment, yeah, whatever. So then what do they say? Like, do they say, okay, this is the next steps, like immediately? Like, how do they, or they're like, oh, we've determined that you're telling the truth. Like, what happens? So they bring out the Bible and figure out in the scriptures, which scriptures I've violated, the sins and the scriptures I've done wrong. So they say that, and read from the Bible, that yada yada yada. I remember that meeting was at my house, and my boyfriend at the time was outside, and I remember them going to my parents' room and discussing and coming back out and saying, yeah, basically we can't, because no one knows. Basically, because no one really knew besides the other friend. Now, mind you, she was doing the same thing. She just told on me first. Okay. And by this time, I didn't realize at the time, but I was just tired. I had been pioneering. I'm tired. I want to go to school. Y'all kept me from school. I've done this missionary thing. I'm still not where I want to be as a witness. You get what I'm saying? And I want to go live my life. And I'm 20, I didn't know I was tired at that time. Looking back on it, I didn't care. By this time, I'm like, you know what? Thank you, Dick. Hello.
I choose you.
Yeah. Like, it was like a form of release. And like,
Yeah.
honestly, the only time where you probably felt like freedom of your own mind and body.
Yes.
Yeah.
This feels good. And that's what one thing I said to myself, like, God created sex. Sex feels good. Why is this bad?
Because God created it. Like,
God
if it feels good, why would... And I think it goes into like the whole thing of like, if in your life all you do is seek pleasure, that's not good, right? Like, that goes to like gluttony and all that. But there's like a balance in everything that you do in life. Right. And you're not going to be able to learn that balance if you're just told like, no, it's bad.
Right. There's a balance with everything.
Yeah.
So by that time I'm just tired. And so they went in the back room. They, immediately said that, I remember Brother Robin's coming up and saying, all right, so what are you doing tonight? And I'm like, I'm going home. I'm going to I start my job in Atlanta tomorrow. So they said, your boyfriend outside? I'm like, yeah, okay. Well, we decided that we could probably reprove you. But if you move in with him, we can't. We disfellowship you.
And they probably, you can let me know if you disagree, but I feel like they knew that you were slowly exiting the mind control, being with him, living with him, because you had an outside perspective heavily influencing you. And if you move in with him now, we might lose you.
Exactly.
We might lose you. So they're like, that's why they came up with this non-objective, like,
right, if I stay home,
if you stay here, then God forgives you.
Exactly.
Where did that even come in? Because if really my sin was really having sex, wouldn't it be like, oh, you gotta wash with Dove soap? I don't know what's the thing? Or like, oh, I gotta
like
re-virginize myself.
Right.
I don't know. Like, wouldn't there be something related to like
the sin?
Right. How is it like, oh, it like, because they didn't say you can't continue to do that with him. Really?
No, really, they no having sex, of course, but
but the specific thing was, for me, you're back if you don't move in with him.
Right. I would be probably publicly reproved. I would still be whatever. Since no one really knew, and the congregation still saw me as good standing.
Yeah.
So when I got this fellowship and they called my name out, like literally, I remember my mother.
So you're in a Okay, so wait. So you're at the like church ceremony thing.
They tell you to come that day. They want you to come.
But you don't know what they're gonna say yet.
Oh no.
You knew because you knew you weren't following their direction to not live with.
They give you 7 days.
Okay.
They give you 7 days to come back and say, hey, whatever. So they don't tell the congregation, at least in my case, they didn't tell the congregation for 7 days. But that next Wednesday is when I get called out. They want you to come to that meeting. Now, this is the control part as well. Now, and this is also for people who are recently come back to the organization as well.
Okay.
So when you're coming out and they announce you, you know you're about to get announced, but you're not allowed to tell anybody goodbye. I can't tell you, I still love you. Whatever happens, whatever. I'm not supposed to say anything. We're still talking, yada, yada, yada. That Wednesday comes, or that Thursday comes, and that meeting comes, and they announce Sister Angela Emery has been no longer a Jehovah's Witness. The whole congregation immediately standing right there. You're not allowed to talk to them. You look past them. They're not here. You are dead to them, even to my parents.
So, and you're sitting like in the regular crowd.
You're supposed to. So I didn't go that day, but yeah.
Okay, but like, so
they want you to.
So I'm here. I'm disfellowshipped, and I know I couldn't tell nobody, and I'm sitting here, and you're looking at me now. We're having a conversation, and then they say, "Oh, India, she's out of here." Then you're gonna, and then I'm supposed to stay there the rest of the session while everyone's acting like I'm not there. And
that's the control they want you to experience. That now you no longer have our love. Same thing when you come back. So the process to come back is supposed to go to meetings, sit in the back room. You're supposed to sit, and no one talks to you this whole time. Supposed to come to church, sit there. No one talks to you this whole time. Now, before they changed it, now they can at least say hey to people, but you're supposed to sit there and no one talks to you. And then, hey, people whisper, all that stuff. Of course, people are nice. Church is nice, nasty, okay, girl. We all gossip. And so,
right.
Oh, why she wearing that today? Look at her. She's still giving. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sister Angela Emery comes back. Now, welcome back in the court. Now, I immediately open arms. I can hug you now. I can talk to you only because the elders have said so.
So they can decide it's going to take years if they feel like it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, no. It's over with, no. But like the ADHD people, we ain't.
I ain't got time for it.
It's not happening like that. Like, cause like if I did try to go back, like I was never in it, but like I'm thinking about if I was in it, once I'm out, like that's kind of it's clipped, it's over with.
That was me. Like
yeah,
I literally sat there one day. I was like, you literally allow somebody to talk to you, to tell you that you can't talk to me.
And this includes your parents, right?
This includes
your parents,
my parents, my sister,
if they're in it, they can't, like no one in your family. So say you had I think the answer is yes, but say you had a kid and your kid is born into it as well, but then you get disfellowshipped and not your kid.
The kid cuts you off. There's plenty of people on Reddit that like children are literally cutting you off. Like, okay, like let's say family members, okay? Let's say mom, dad, 2 children, okay? Let's say mom does a sin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She gets disfellowship.
There have been stories on Reddit where people are like, my parents they don't talk to me in the house. Like you're supposed to have as little contact as possible. That's the old rule. So maybe I cook dinner, what have you. Thank you for the dinner. I only like he talks to her for bills or whatever, but that's it.
So I'm supposed to still pay these bills with you? Oh no.
Or, basically, let's say
like whatever my responsibilities was, I'm supposed to still be doing them.
Okay, mother gets this fellowship. There's been stories where dad takes the kids and moves out. Most times the mother takes the kids and moves out or whatever. Or the kids don't talk to the parents anymore. There's plenty of people who've been disfellowship later on in their age and they got adult children, don't contact with their grandchildren at all because their grandchildren are still witnesses. Mm-hmm. I remember a girlfriend of mine, when she got announced, and her and her brother's an elder. She has 4 kids. Elder brother has 4 kids. They all go to the same school. These are elementary school kids at the time. Okay, elementary school. She gets announced. That next day, the cousins don't talk to each other at all. And I remember trying to explain to 8-year-old kids why their cousins yesterday could talk to them and today will not. Mm-hmm. And I sat there after I got the phone and just cried. Because yesterday, me and my cousins we're cousins. But today, literally, the kids are told not to talk to their cousins anymore. And they do it.
Because they don't know any different. Yeah.
That's that control.
So that's that's the aspect of what are the consequences to me leaving. There's consequences. Right. I can't just make a informed decision on whether I want to stay in it or not. I have to stay in it if I want access to my family or
my sister doesn't talk to me right now. I have her number. She does not talk to me. I was very surprised when my father died. I was very grateful and surprised when my father died. My mother told me. Mm-hmm. Because this is before they changed the rule. And she goes, yeah, your dad. I was like, and I asked her, and it's a shame. I asked her, am I allowed to come to the funeral?
Were you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did go.
Okay.
It was at the hall. It was some other stuff. Yeah, but still.
Yeah.
That's my father. I had to ask to come to a funeral?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. To like celebrate life because I decided that I didn't agree with the viewpoints in this. So the mind control runs deep. How you help people get out of those situations? What are the steps and what does support look like for people if they're interested in maybe leaving? And how would they even know if they're part of an organization that is controlling their mind without actually being God? So like, how would they learn?
I will say this. I'm going to use something, for example, that we all do, okay? Apple or Android?
Apple.
Okay, me too. Apple, all right? Y'all couldn't get me on an Android if you wanted to. All right, I'm sorry. My husband's Android. Okay, I couldn't get him on Apple if he wanted to.
Okay.
Okay, but if I decide to go get a Google Pixel or an Android or Samsung, my husband's not going to leave me because I got a Samsung. You get what I'm saying? If he decided to get an Apple, his mom's not going to get mad at him because he changed his phone. We all have our preferences. You get what I'm saying?
And I might not agree.
I might not agree because, you know, Samsung people swear that Apple's phone camera is worse than Samsung's, okay? Like they do, okay? And I don't care. I don't.
Yeah.
But, all right.
If you like it, I love it.
If you like it, great. That's the difference. I'm not stopping our relationship because he wants an Android. I'm not stopping our relationship because we both like Apple, okay? That's the thing. But if I decide to go get a Samsung tomorrow,
I'm not going to be like, we're taking this podcast down. I never want to talk to you again. Like, whatever. No. I'm going to be like, that's annoying because now I got to see green in my phone. Like, I'm going to make a little sassy comment, but then that's it. That's all I'm going to do.
There's plenty of friends that I don't have in group chats because I don't want them to turn green, okay? I just don't. All right? That's just it. And that's the control. If you had to think about, hey, if I'm going to lose my family because I decided to go do something, that's the control. I might be a Democrat. If I decided to go vote Republican tomorrow, I'm not going to lose my family about it. You get what I'm saying? We might have some more discussions. We might talk a little bit, but we're not going to lose a family member over it. That's the control part. How do you know? If I had to run things by other people, in that organization, we're all taught to tell on each other. We're very much taught to tell on each other. If I see you walking around with the worldly kids at school and you're, you know, hanging around with the bad boy, and if we're at school together and you got arm in arm with the football player, why's she over there? I have to go tell.
Yeah.
That you living your best life. Go do what you're gonna do.
But even then, it really breeds a culture. This is a tangent, but it breeds a culture of also like jealousy and fear.
Yes.
Because like, if you're young and attractive, people are gonna come up to you, right? And you're gonna get certain attention, even if you didn't ask for it. So I might be my little teenage self, because teenagers are mean and jealous naturally, right? Like, so somebody might see a guy come up to me and I didn't even do nothing. I'm still my little virgin self, and I'm doing God, whatever I'm supposed to be doing for the religion. But they might see guys coming up to me getting attention, blah, blah, blah. And they're going to go run their mouth.
Yes.
And now I feel shame.
Yes.
Over, or like, you know, some girls develop more early.
Exactly.
I was one of those early developers. Like, I had a C cup in 6th grade.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
So, like, of course, but like, then if people come up to me or whatever, anything like that, and I didn't do nothing.
Right.
But the little chitter chatter would have came up.
She wouldn't have these big breasts if she was doing something at home.
Right, exactly. Like
that has nothing to do with it.
But there would have been a chitter chatter amongst the community, and then I feel shame for something I
have no control over. Mine was
0% control.
My hips came in, but one of the girls, Mandy, was my pioneer partner, but she's a Caucasian woman, and we wear the same outfit, but the skirts look a little bit differently on me than they do on Mandy. Okay. So, you know, when I wear it, you know, I sit down and it comes up a little bit, you know, up here. Sister Emery, that's a little too short. But Mandy's wearing the same skirt.
Yeah.
But she ain't, you know, one, she's Caucasian, and two, got some hips and them, you know, black. So therefore, I'm stumbling brothers because I'm wearing.
Yeah.
I'm not you gotta control your own penis, not me. I can't control your penis.
Yeah.
That's not my job.
Yeah. So basically, we went on a tangent. That was my fault because I had to talk about that because whatever. But
we all doing this healing together, girl.
Yeah. Like, but the main aspect of if you're questioning what you're involved in is a little bit.
If you're having to change who you are, but to be accepted,
or like, and you feel like there's going to be a consequence to leaving, that's when you need to start asking yourself more questions,
right?
And maybe people outside of the organization, or ChatGPT is a real nice friend.
Hey, Chatty,
she's great.
I love my Chatty.
I love her. She gives me great advice.
If I'm having to change myself and what I want to do for someone else,
then you
to
have
make
to
them
start
happen.
to think,
right? And these people don't pay my bills. That's the other thing. These people don't pay my bills
at all. They're draining your resources to be able to pay your bills because they don't want you to be able to pay your bills. They want you to be able to pay them. That's the thing.
And that's the thing, right?
And then, so say I've like I'm now at the point where I'm like, oh, I got to get out. Like, it's time. Like, I got to get out. What is the next step?
There is a thing called fading. Of course, witnesses won't let you know that. You can just kind of fade out slowly. Nowadays, they are talking to you, this, whatever. I would say first step, develop a friendship with people outside organization. This ex-witness community is very big. You can start developing friendships with people who've already gone through it. Mm-hmm. I would say first off, number one, develop friendships so that when that curtain does, or if it does come down, you have friendships outside organization.
So you feel empowered, like, not like you have to say, because that's the one thing that abusive relationships do, is they separate you from your loved ones, your friends, your family, whatever, so that you don't have a network. Same thing with this. They don't want your network to be anything outside of the organization. So if you start to kind of build those friendships, that's why in relationships they say you're supposed to still be your own person. You're a partnership, but you're still supposed to have those other things to where you don't feel like you need me to survive. You want to be sad if we break up. Like,
I'll be sad.
If me and my man not together no more, I'm gonna cry every day for a year. I don't know. But I know that I still have a life.
Right.
And other resources and other people to fall back on.
Right.
So I guess that's a good point. Like, if you're even starting to question, now's the time to just have a friend that's not in the organization. Mm-hmm. And I think that's how they get a lot of people, is people are searching for community. But there's segueing into kind of what your available resources. There's communities that are for people who are ex-JW.
Yes.
Yeah. My mom is ex-JW, and she was also born into it. And I was telling her about this interview, and she was like, I didn't know that these, like, things existed. She was like, how did you find that? So, like, what are some of the ways that someone can find a community? And you were also, I want to note for people, I think a lot of times people are scared, like, someone's going to reject them, or is it going to look weird if I try to reach out? But I feel like people who are any type of cult survivor are so open arms. Like, that's been my experience.
I'm very much open arms. No judgment.
My last interview, she wasn't JW, but like evangelical Christian ex from Alabama. So similar type of thing. And she's also very open arms, like educational to that stuff. And she's the one who, she teaches yoga and has her yoga organization. So I think anyone who's like worried about, oh, if I reach out on Instagram, if I find the community or find this person that I resonate with, if I reach out, I don't know if it's going to be weird. That's not the experience.
It's not. I'm here.
At all.
I give my number out on Reddit all the time. Like, here, just text me when you need me.
Yeah, like, it's such an open community, and a lot of people don't know about, like, my mom has been out of it. Like, she was never in it in my entire lifetime. Like, she got out before I was born and stuff like that. But she still is just now finding out about this community existing.
So Facebook, Reddit are the big ones. There's plenty of big groups on Facebook. There's big groups on Reddit. And then I'm starting a community with myself with the Exodus group. And so just to be able to have the resources, just to talk to people. Because sometimes when you're going through things, it comes up almost daily. Excuse me. And you're like, I don't know this. And I know why. Can I just vent about this for a second? And it's like, just an ear to say it's okay. I know why you don't know. And it's all right. And we're going to learn it now. And it's okay to learn it now. Yes, it might be, you might think it's late, but we're going to learn as time goes. And it's all right. And releasing judgment on yourself. That's the second thing I think. Is yes, you were raised in it, or yes, you were in this organization, but now you can do something about it. And release that judgment on, maybe I should have got out. It's okay. You got out when it was time, or you're still in, but take your time. I strongly say take your time. If you're not being forced out, take your time, build your resources, build your money, go to school. If you got to fake it a little bit and, attend meetings every once in a while, they still have Zoom meetings, I hope.
They do.
Good. Because that's how a lot of people, say I'm in the meeting, but I'm not in the meeting. We housed a girl last year, and every Tuesday night she had to go to her Zoom meeting. She goes, you know what I'm doing? I said, I know. Go ahead. but she had to be on Zoom to pretend that she was still going to the meeting so that she could still have her resources and family. But she was building her community outside with me.
Slowly,
because that way it's not such a jolt. Now, if you're being forced out, cool. We can still do that too. It takes a lot more work, okay? Because like depending on what age, because they'll disfellowship kids, LGBTQ kids, depending on the parents, they'll kick them out. So how do you build a resource from 15 to 18 years old and you can't get a license, you're not able to get a full-time job? Where do you start? That's the real thing I really want to do with the nonprofit is to be able to house those kids, or they're being forced out, they are questioning, and their parents are like, no. Because there's literally been, I think one of the governing body members said, if your child is 18 years old and not baptized, they shouldn't get a driver's license. And a lot of parents took that as law. So now, what do? How do you build? Your parents aren't teaching you how to drive until you get baptized, but you don't want to get baptized. They're kicking them out. Now, where do you start? How do you?
Yeah.
So that's what I would love to be a resource for that as well. And that's where we start a nonprofit so we can get those grants and get those places where I'm like, okay, here's 6 months, get your schooling, get it, what have you to move forward. So it's just that control is so overwhelming, takes over your whole life. But you got to start somewhere.
And okay, so shout out your race, because you have a race to raise money for, because this, like, I want to say again, you housed someone because they would not have had housing.
Yeah.
And been able to transition out of the organization.
Yeah.
If they didn't find you as a resource. So I just want to say, like, it's really the same as, like, people who deal with domestic violence.
Yes.
It's the same thing.
Yes.
So I just want, people don't realize that. So I'm going to put that into perspective.
Yeah. I say it's religious. I call it religious domestic violence.
Yes.
Because now they demonize, they're weaponizing God. When God is really love all.
Yeah.
Love yourself, love all.
But
they weaponize God to control you. When God, if you believe in God, whatever your belief is, but if you believe in God, God is not meant to be weaponized. God loves you for who you are. So I remember one time, this is back when I was physically out, but mentally in. I was still having sex. We'll shout out the business in a second. I hold my hand there.
Love it.
ADHD hack. I'm still having sex, but I still demonize myself. I was still, I'm a bad person. And that's one of my clients, one of my personal training clients, she goes, Angela, who created sex? My God. When do your hormones start to have sex? Like, when are you able to actually produce a baby? When your period starts. Okay. When's your period start? Mine started around 11, 12. Okay. When did we, before current medicine, when did we actually die? Like, most of us didn't live more than 50 years. So we only had 50 years to give birth.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be wise to start having, and to her, I forget, is this true or not? Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. The quinceañera or the sweet 16 was when, for us girls, we were shopping around for our husbands. So we could have the sex, so we can get married, so we can produce, recreate. The Bible says we're supposed to create many, or whatever the hell it says, okay? And she said, Angela, you're doing what your body is telling you to do. And I literally looked at her and said, what? She goes, you're doing what your body is telling you to do. It's natural to have sex. It's a natural thing. Yes, be protected. Yes, use condoms. Yes. Be wise. Don't. Yeah, all that stuff. But it's a natural thing. And to sit there and she's literally, I was sitting there crying, like, this is okay. And she goes, yeah. Stop beating yourself up and stop having a judgment on yourself.
And you were in your 20s.
I was in my mid-20s.
Crying. Yes. About this. And you were in that relationship with the guy, right?
This is after that. This is in between.
After?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. But, yeah. And I'm sitting there beating myself up for it. Probably still was him. I don't know. I can't remember. But still. Because we were on and getting off again sometimes, too. But I'm still beating myself up for doing this sin that I enjoy. As a grown
like
woman, adult woman.
With adult responsibilities and adult bills. Yeah.
And I can make this choice for myself and to be able to have that freedom. And that's the first time that I just changed that mindset. Just that direct shift Okay, as long as I'm being safe, do I want to do this? Yes. All right, fine. Then go.
Period.
And having that education to give myself that love is what I do now. So that's that mind shift that I think that we all need, because we've been programmed one way. I call it the Jehovah's Witness. I call it now the Jehovah's Witness radio station. That program is a AM station, AM 930. Okay, when everybody else is on FM radio. Let's say you like country music, you're never going to listen to find a country song on heavy metal rock. I mean, on the, you know what I'm saying? Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're not going to find it on rap, you know, death metal rap. Okay, so if you really like country or Christian music, like, you got to tune into the station that you want. So when you come out, you have to reprogram or re-educate and tune into not that station anymore, but the station of where you want to go. And so it's a long process, but it can be done. And it takes those questions, like she told me. Okay, that makes sense. And I can accept myself for it. So shout out to the Exodus group. I created the Exodus group to create a safe place, to create safe landing places for us who came out of organizations, high control organizations. Because it is a mind fuck. It's literally, I damn near questioned my own name, like tearing down the belief systems that I really thought. Even today, sometimes, wives be submissive to your husbands. Now that I'm married, I find myself, wait, hold up. No, sir. Let me ask you a question. You get what I'm saying? And not just saying, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. But going, no, can I just ask a question? Yada, yada, yada. Because we're supposed to be a partnership.
Right. And you might be right, because that's the whole point of a partnership. He might be right sometimes. I might be right sometimes. Or maybe we just have to meet in the middle. Exactly. It's not to say that sometimes you don't listen to your husband or your partner. But it's more so like, it's a give and a take. And you trying to actually understand where they're coming from.
Exactly. We both have to ask these questions. If I'm doing something crazy, hey, why are you doing that? And why are you doing it that way? Now, he asked me that more than I asked him more times, but, you know, ADHD is a real thing. But but I'm different. I'm raised a different way. So therefore, I'm going to do it a different way than what he's going to do it. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And that's fine.
Yeah.
And that's that curiosity. So being able to accept yourself and love who you are. And that's where we coach with it. And we just kind of talk and keep moving. So yeah, we working on housing. We're going to work on grants for helping people get school, because that's one way, especially if you're in your early teens and late teens and early 20s. School's the best way to get out of the house if you can get to school, because you can stay at school, you can get your education going, and you can keep moving. So we're working on getting grants for people to be able to go to school and scholarships. That's one of the things. And housing are the main issues, but also the support system, because you do, like you said, an abusive relationship is an abusive relationship with God. And you have to rediscover your own mental way of dealing with that. And I'm not pushing anybody to any religion or whatever. If you don't want to be in a religion, that's fine. Yeah. You don't have to be. If you want to go back to Christianity, great. If you want to be a Buddhist, you want to be a Muslim, great. Fine. Find what works for you and honor that. So.
Period. And what day is your race that's raising money? It's in Atlanta, right?
Yes, it's in Atlanta. This year, the past 2 years, we did a virtual race. Maybe next year we'll do another virtual race, so everybody worldwide can attend that. But this one's a physical race. It's a 5K, fun walk, run, whatever. It's in Atlanta on October 25th. You can donate at CoachAngieBe.com. Okay. You can also donate by a T-shirt, because I can send a T-shirts to you as well. And we're raising money for the organization, so we can actually start housing more people and being able to be that support system, so we can have more events nationwide or what have you, so we can gather each other up. Because I even need it sometimes too. You just feel so weird because you have this freedom that when you get in a room with people that's been through the same trauma that you've been, like, okay, I'm not weird. Okay. Got it. I'm not weird. Okay. Oh, you got this. Oh, you got the social. Remember when? Okay, got it. Like,
yeah,
it's when it gets you, and it's awesome to be in a room with people that just understand where you're coming from.
Okay, we're gonna put the information in. So whether you are in Atlanta, you're gonna do the race, or you want to donate, or you want to buy a shirt, this is important work for people who have suffered domestic abuse. Like, how did you
religious?
say it?
I don't remember how that was flowing. Religious domestic violence. Let's say it that way.
Yeah, religious domestic violence. I feel like we kind of created a little thing.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I think so too.
Yes.
Weaponizing God. Yeah.
So details will be in the description. Like, subscribe, follow I Love You But podcast, all platforms, and stay tuned for more on community and cults this season. Bye, y'all.
Thank you and thank you.
Thank you.